for like prime candidates for the GameStop Edge cards, and it was basically just
What the fuck is a GameStop Edge card?
it's like the GameStop rewards card, like any retail environment where they have a rewards card.
Okay.
But basically, like their prime candidates were people who looked like they couldn't speak English very well. So you just throw it on the end of their thing and just go, no, you need it. You absolutely need it, and just fucking bullshit them. It's fucked up.
Womp womp.
But yeah, the issue is that apparently many GameStops do not enforce a uniform policy, and you can just wear whatever you want. Because
Really?
the business was hemorrhaging money, so a lot of locations just couldn't afford to put people in uniforms.
That's awesome.
shit.
So half of the pictures are people with like a regular T-shirt on that has like their employee name tag that has GameStop on it in big letters.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I do like recall at the shitty GameStop in our hometown, me and Ben's hometown, fucking like it would just be the weirdo that you knew from high school, and he'd just be wearing like an anime T-shirt, and then he'd have the GameStop lanyard, and the lanyard was the only, and you could put whatever stickers or pins you wanted on the lanyard. And I just remember just vividly going in there and being like, excuse me, do you have Pokemon Emerald? And he goes, oh no, man, I wish, man, I'd be playing that right now if we had it. And it's like, okay, thanks, bye.
By you not saying the name of the town, I'm gonna assume you just started recording and didn't tell me.
Yeah, that's correct.
What's up with that? Two cowards who don't even smoke crack. What's up with that? Two cowards who don't even smoke crack.
Okay.
Well, hi everybody. I'm Garrett.
I'm Will.
And I'm Atticus Lane.
I'm gonna call you Ben if that's okay.
I'm just gonna call me Ben. Call me, yeah, and then
Together we are now three cowards who don't smoke crack. This is a special episode today. This is a special episode of a podcast that is dedicated to reviewing the musical works of Lee Carter, aka Lee Dog, aka
Crowbar.
Crowbar's a way.
AKA Crobat.
Crobat.
Crowbar's a way fucking cooler name than Cobra.
Oh my god.
aka Rip, aka Diamondback, or as you may know him, Viper. Between the three of us,
Hey, you know what? I've been making music for 10 years. I'll say that I have some experience in telling people they suck. And it's
or
mostly
really
just looking in the mirror.
or really professional criticism of any kind.
God damn.
Holy shit,
And today
I'm making
I think
Garrett.
that's true more than ever.
I'm making Garrett all hot and bothered over here. He's never been in the room
Can
with
you
somebody.
check his notes? Can you see if it still says dedicating on the piece of paper instead of dedicated?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm glad.
Fuck
He's
yeah.
got it.
In some ways, this makes us perfect to review Viper because we too know what it feels like. I'm missing the word "to" in there. It just says because we know what it feels like to be devoid of any sort of talent. And this week,
I think that's true less than ever. Before we get started, I got a couple of general shout outs I gotta give.
okay, let's hear him.
So first of all, I now believe that Garrett has the power, you have the control over the Viper topic auto-generated YouTube channel. The reason I believe this, if you go to it right now, you'll see that the picture has changed again, the profile picture.
God damn it.
It is now the album My Yellow Girlfriend with Isabel from Animal Crossing that we talked about directly after the episode last week.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That would be your power, though, because if it was my power, it'd be a picture of that Indonesian Viper.
True. That is still the first video that comes up when you
Fuck
search
yeah.
like Viper YouTube. It's two songs that are not Lee Carter.
So is it?
Also, what's up?
Is
Go-
it
go
just?
for it.
Is it just like a WWE of sorts behind the scenes of all these people fighting to be the champion of the Viper YouTube channel?
I would like to see.
That's kind of the difficulty.
Yeah.
Because YouTube auto generates it, so I don't think any of them really know that channel exists or care.
Right.
So it's kind of just YouTube algorithm at work.
Well, only one of them.
It just
I'd
doesn't
like
know
to
what to
believe
do.
that. I'd like to believe that Lee Dog himself is in the emails with like YouTube support every week, going, "No, dog, change that shit back." And pretty soon we're gonna get like a Viper album that's like, "YouTube be fucking smoking crack."
Well, no, smoking
Well, that's
crack would
because
be
he
good.
has his own YouTube channel again now.
Right,
True.
Viper
Like,
Rapper
he's got
Vivo.
Viper Vivo.
Which is hilarious because even official Vivo channels don't have the Vivo at the end of their name anymore.
Viper Rapper Vivo.
I would really like to see like a Street Fighter-esque world stage map where you pick your fighter and it's just all the Vipers from all the different
You pick your
regions.
Viper.
You pick your
Yeah.
Viper, yeah.
That's what I was saying. We need the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny of just Viper lore.
It'd be kind of difficult because you'd have like the solo artist like that Eastern European rapper named Viper.
Random.
And like American Viper. But then you'd have full bands named Viper, and I feel like that would be a distinct advantage. Maybe the bands have to
And
choose.
we don't even know.
Yeah, the bands have to choose is it like the front man?
Yeah.
Maybe they've got some faith in
They
the
have
drummer.
to choose it. They have to choose a champion. Each of
Yeah.
them has to choose a fighting
Do you
champion.
think Confederate Viper would pick the truck? Would he like send his truck into battle for him?
The truck is his stand, actually.
Actually, actually that
Or
would
like the
that would be sick. Like imagine if the bands like the
he
front
gets a mount.
Yeah, and the bands like they're a front man, and when you select them in the fighter, they basically just have like a bunch of stand attacks. Like a guitar will still come out and strum the guitar, and like lightning will come out, and then the drummer will play like a drum fill and pop out of nowhere.
The bands are just the Pokemon trainer from Smash Brothers that just sends out different members.
Exactly.
All right, so what's your general
Yeah,
points,
sorry
Will?
for cutting you off.
Oh no, yeah, this is gonna be the most exciting part of the episode, I think. So I want to give a quick shout out to the Twitter page All For Gaming, that for some reason decided to retweet the episode 12 tweet that I put out.
Oh yeah.
And this other random gaming channel liked it. I think it's because I put hashtag gaming on it, and it's like a bot that auto retweeted.
Yeah.
I was about to
But we just
congratulate you guys.
Well, I mean, that's still more retweets than we usually get.
That's true. Normally our only retweet is you.
So, yeah.
Dude, you know what sucks?
Random,
Go ahead.
just this random gaming channel with like a couple thousand followers randomly retweets us. We were the only retweet they did all day, and 0 of their followers liked the retweet.
That's awesome.
But that's what usually happens to me. Is like I know lots of times I've like quote tweeted y'all's tweets and be like, "Yo, these guys are so hey, check this super hot fight," and nobody ever. Like I legit know people that would probably suck my weenie, and for one reason or another, they're just like, you know what, 2 cowards who don't even smoke crack. I'm just gonna have to pass on that one.
Maybe now that you're here,
That's true.
they'll watch for you.
That's true.
Maybe.
This is going to be our most viewed video.
Maybe.
And I'm gonna be upset if it fucks with our algorithm in Albania. That's gonna be the one thing.
Yeah, how's your Albanian following?
Let me check and see our Albanian following real quick. Check a live update.
we might get you more Albanian fans this week.
Okay. I'd
We'll
love to
pop
go.
an
Oh, good
update
lord! Look
here.
at that. Hang on.
Oh, what?
Let's go, Germany.
Is it up more?
Germany coming up in the chat.
Yeah, we
What the
they've
hell?
taken 1% of our listeners away from Albania, and now Germany, the town of Hesse, or the region of Hesse in Germany,
Okay, can I just
has
make
1% of our listeners. Albania still has not enough data to tell us our region, and we got a shit ton of listeners in Washington State. We got
Seattle.
We
Hell
got
yeah.
a shit ton of listeners in Tejas.
Can I just say something? I absolutely adore how you've got 96% United States, 2% Albania, 1% Germany, and there's a percentage of people out there that's just unaccounted for. like MIA POWs of Viper.
We're still at
hope-
100% male and 90% 23 to 27 demographic. So
Oh, are we getting older or
younger. We got. Let's see. We got 10% 18 to 22.
Viper will remember
Nice.
that.
Viper will remember that.
Yeah, we should. I know Telltale is dead, but we can make a Telltale game
Actually,
Viper?
dude,
where you.
Telltale is not dead. I looked that up today. I
Really?
went on a Wikipedia binge on accident
Wait a minute,
today.
yeah, you're about to tell me something.
Who bought Telltale?
LGC Entertainment or something like that, and they changed their name to Telltale, and then they said, and then they said, hey, if you used to work for the original Telltale, we'll give you a job at like half your old salary.
God.
Interesting.
That'd be like being a rapper or whatever, and like your favorite rapper dies, and you're like, man, I just want to buy like their intellectual property. So you buy their name. It's like, I am now Tupac Shakur.
Hey, Tupac is alive and making rap money for Serbia right now.
That's true. That's true. He is alive and making rap money for Serbia, selling it for the assassins, I can only assume, of George W. Bush.
Yeah. They have gold now.
Ape
They're
Lord of the Jungle.
Serb #1 company.
So do we want to talk about the album that we listened to? It's been 10
minutes. We really did a good job.
We can jump into the 3 albums, or 4 actually. I believe we asked Ben to look at a special one.
That's right. That's right. So
okay, wait a minute. Hold up.
Well, let's.
There's been some discrepancy in communication. What?
You listen to Acapellas. That's our rite of passage for this.
Yeah,
week.
but what about the other 2?
Oh no, that's me and him. That's just me and him. You only had to listen to.
Yeah, we got
shit!
you.
I was about to be like, God damn it! Do I have to go sit in timeout and listen to these other Viper albums in like 3 times speed?
No, it's not. It wouldn't be worth that even if we did ask you to do that.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Well, I will tell you, Will. I've got 6 pages of notes and paragraphs for each song.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I've given it some thought, and I feel like I've really taken a full dive into the pool that is 2 cowards who don't even smoke crack.
Well, the worst part is he texted me.
Excited.
He texted me earlier today and was like, I was like, I've been texting him all weekend, like, hey man, are you ready to record? Hey man, you ready to record? And he would just ghost me. And then fucking today I text him and I'm like, hey man, are you ready to record? And he says, listen, dog, I got nothing to say about this dog shit. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I just don't understand it. And I'm like, that's the idea.
Yeah.
He's like, I just feel like if I had the source material, I'd be better at talking about it. And I said, no, you'd be worse off for knowing the source material. That's why we brought you on.
Yeah, this is all episode. I think most of this stuff this week is episode 1 stuff.
Did we listen to Southwest Hooligan first week?
Yeah, it was Ready and Hustlin' Thick, Southwest Hooligan, and Heartless Hoodlum.
That's right. You're correct.
Willing.
Yeah. So
And then we did the 2 coward or the Yule Coward special. What's up?
I said willing.
Ready and.
Oh, right. Okay.
I've wanted you guys. Right. I wanted somebody so much to at the end of a show just be like, oh yeah, blah, 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 see you next week. Ready and click theme song. And then the next week the first word on the podcast is willing.
That's really funny. That's really
good. That would be
good.
breaking with my general style of sneak starting the recordings every week and just having a conversation with Will for anywhere from like 1 to 7 minutes, and he just has no idea when I hit the button to start recording.
You gave it away this week because you said my hometown, and I was like, oh, so you're recording, are you? Why don't we start with acapellas, Ben? I'm interested in hearing your reaction.
Yeah, so we talked about this last week. We talked about acapellas last week. So go ahead. This is just a theme for our guests. We're just gonna have all of you guys listen to acapellas because it is uniquely terrible.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now. I had gone through acapellas twice. At which point I texted Garrett and said, "Dog, I got nothing."
Yeah.
And so I went back and listened to it again. Shamefully, and I have 3 things. 1 and 2 Cashman I don't hate. There's something about the vocal arrangement of like things that are going on, and like there's contrasting vocals, and they're auto-tuned. So I don't like the Viper auto-tune, but at least it makes it somewhat musical. So I don't hate that. The only other 2 notes I have for acapellas are 5, doing things. Don't really give a shit about that. But 6, the track Boom, I dig that the first verse's opening is a reference to doing things when it says, I was in the cut doing things. And in Boom, it's like, I was in the cut. And then he goes on to something else. I'm like, you know what, Viper? I dig that. I love callbacks. I love Easter eggs. Yep. I know it's an Easter egg to something you did.
I also liked Boom.
I know it's an Easter egg to something you did literally 30 seconds ago. But you know what? We'll take it.
something you got to understand about
What did
Viper is he has an attention span of approximately 45 seconds.
And
a
it
minute.
reflects in it
Yeah.
reflects when you listen to the music and you start to realize like how beautiful the world is and how nice that squirrel is, because you're trying to distract yourself from anything but paying attention to this fucking acapella album. I've never heard anything so bad.
It's worth mentioning that this album came out in 2019, but apparently he had been working on it and putting like vocal tracks on this for years. So there is no way to know if Boom was actually recorded at the same time as Doing Things.
Exactly.
It could be a complete coincidence.
It most likely
I have
be...
one question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What did you think of the song Message to Marx?
Dog, it's just one big blur. I'm telling you right now, the 3 times I listened to him, I had my notebook out in my car, like trying to go through some things in my head, and my brain just turned to mush over the hour and 5 minutes. And I was like,
I think that Message to Marx might be the single funniest thing I have ever heard my entire life.
Message to
what
Marx
track
is really
number?
good.
What track number is it? Because if it's at a
This is 1, 2. This is 3 after Boom.
okay, I can tell you
So is
right
that
now,
like 8?
like the track after Boom, I don't have any recollection of.
No,
and
that
I was
was-
just
that
playing.
was Pistol Play.
I was
That
just
one's
playing.
bad.
I was just playing a compilation of like images in my head that had to do with suicide. Like I was just trying to get like this time over with.
How long is
he does-
how long is the Marx song?
Message to Marx?
Yeah.
Probably like 1 or 2 minutes.
Do you think we would get
Absolutely not.
DMCMA struck if
Absolutely
we played
not.
that on the pod for Ben here?
God.
No, but I don't know how to listen to just that song.
Oh, that's
I can
true.
try
I
that.
forgot. Well, we did it.
Because the album only exists in spans of. I guess you could mute it and then skip to that song, and then unmute it and play.
All right. Yeah. That's what I'm
Wait a
gonna
minute.
do.
Wait a minute. Go back to that like conversation. Please never play that again.
Oh, great! Now Ben gets to see all of the soft
What
the softcore.
What are y'all watching?
I pulled up the Two Cowards YouTube page and it's all memes and softcore porn.
What the fuck?
Oh right. Yeah. Yeah. It sure
we never
is.
watch anything on this channel aside from Viper, and so I guess we just get Viper's recommendations, which is
my
like
God.
fucking tits and streamers. All right.
All right. Are you ready? Let's listen to this as a unit and laugh.
Message
And
to
audio
Marx.
listeners. Oh, you'll be able to hear it, so it's fine.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So what is
He's
the
got a
hold on. Viper.
13:30 is the time on the video.
All right.
Viper Acapellas.
Oh,
It's pulled up. It's pulled up.
I was pulled up to it. That's awesome.
Okay.
All right. You
Yep.
ready? Enjoy this, viewers. This is your first auditory dessert of the show.
3, 2, 1.
So, pussy. I heard that you're rookie. What's up, snitch? You gon' end up in the ditch.
Bars.
Yes, you are.
Snitches know the time. They see me on my grind. Watch as I shine. Watch as I climb. Haters want my life. So I keep a gun and a knife. And if they this,
Okay, please pause this.
I'm gonna prove I'm the best.
It's almost over.
Yeah, we're getting there. Come on, you can do it.
Watch out for this stone blade. It'll hit you in your face today.
He just stopped speaking
Watch out
English.
for this massive gun. Bitch ass nigga, you better not run.
I'm crying.
I'm getting to this door. I can't believe I'm banging so many bad hoes. It must be the money. And once the chipper sees nothing goes me, take a nigga from me. I'll make 'em raise up Or this pistol gon' go buck to your head and to your chest. That pistol play gon' make a mess, I'm trying to tell you. That's what's up. I told you that before that I
call that
really
the pistol
didn't
play.
give a fuck. Now it's the end of the mission. To destroy the rest of the competition. Yeah, that's how I feel. Now these nothing fucks know what
Nothing
to do.
fucks?
And I'm chill, so let's get to the money. And watch as I continue to be stunning. Let's get to the cash. Now watch how I show my ass. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Haters.
Haters?
Okay,
Wait. Yep.
so I have a theory behind the creation of that song.
All right, let's hear it.
Uh-huh.
So, have you ever seen those videos where someone takes a picture of themselves every single morning for a period of time? I
Yeah.
swear to God, he had his microphone set up, and he would wake up, stretch, have a sip of crack, press record, say the first thing that came to mind, and continue his day. And he did this for for clearly a good while.
I'm such a big fan of they'd better run from the gun.
I'm a big fan.
man.
I'm a big fan of the term "nothing fucks."
Nothing.
That is great. I'm just gonna start calling people that.
I'm a big
He
fan
made
of
a-
ha 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 ha. Haters.
Hate it.
Dead space, haters, and then the next song. Okay, well, I'm glad that you enjoyed acapellas.
It's very generous of you guys to call these songs.
Well, he made them, didn't he? Yeah. That makes it art.
That does make it art. We
How
didn't
about-
make it.
So what now? Should we go right into what the fuck is a recession, or do you want to do the other two?
Let's
Okay,
let's
do
let's
that.
go right into what the fuck is a recession. The
So how do we?
strangest Viper album that I think I've heard in a while.
Oh, mine was pretty normal. That's not a good sign.
This is just Southwest Hooligan, the bass boosted remix.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say bass boosted is. That's one way you could put it. It's very washed out.
Okay, so before we even get started, me like very heavily listening to you guys over a period of time now. 9,900 Haters is just such a good song.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We will get there. I have.
Such a good song, dude.
It's so funny.
It's so good. All right, let's start with the title track.
Well, how about let's that's not that is my first one. All right, so how about this? How about I'll do my usual, say what the name of this one is, say what the original is, and then anybody with notes, you can go for it because that's the only notes I took for this. So
Hell yeah.
what the fuck is a recession?
I want to point out
Well,
before we
it's-
get started,
I'm-
what the fuck? Fuck is capital F, $, capital C, lowercase k.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Well, apparently a recession is actually I'm gonna ball and never fall. Of course, Southwest Hooligan, as you said. What do you think? What do you make of this?
Garrett, go.
I think it kind of slaps, honestly. Mostly because we barely have to hear Viper. It sounds like he recorded his vocals into a tin can, or like he himself is the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. But
He's on the other side of an aquarium.
yeah. He's singing through. It's one of those recordings at the bottom of a pool.
Yeah.
But thankfully, you don't have to hear that much because he turns his vocals farther down than any other song on this album, and he boosts the bass. I had a really hard time straying that. I kept wanting to say
Straying it? Straight it?
I'm having a stroke. I kept wanting to
What are
say
you trying to
boost
stray?
the bass, which is not correct.
No.
But yeah, you barely have to hear his vocals, which are terrible because he just turns everything else up, and I don't know, it sounded pretty all right. I didn't hate it.
All right.
It's fine.
So I wrote, what the fuck? And I never got through most of these album titles. In fact, there was a period of time where I started to recognize a few. So none of the album titles on my thing are right. So it just says, what the fuck? I said, what could be a cool little 808 bass line is overdriven and overpowers the entire track. Terrible opener. There's this little MIDI thing, and it sounds like almost like a MIDI guitar, which I don't know if either of you have ever heard that.
Yeah,
it sucks ass.
So what that is, that's the original version of this song that he didn't take. He didn't strip just the vocal track.
Okay.
He had the original song, and he just turned it really far down. And then he put a different track, a different beat over it.
Again, this is the man himself who could have just re-recorded the vocals or taken the vocals.
Taken the original
There's no
vocal
excuse
tracks.
for him to not have the vocal track.
So I talk about that. I said the drums are in mono because I was curious as to whether anything would go stereo later in the album, which it does. The 808 sounds chorused into stereo. So basically what it does is that like there's this minor delay that happens in your left ear and right ear with that like 808 big overdriven bass to make it sound like there's two things happening at once. So you get like a stereo effect even though it's one. And so basically he just doubled the ear fuck. But I did say as the beat fades out and the bass like goes down ever so slightly, I bobbed my head for a second because you could hear everything going on for like the 3 seconds of fade out. And I was like, you know what? There could have been something there. But Lee Dog himself had to put his dirty, grimy, grubby little hands on it.
Yeah, the original, a lot of this, so Southwest Hooligan is one of his better early albums.
Yes, I remember you guys talking about it.
I think that was both of our favorites from from our first week.
From that first episode. Yes.
So a lot of the beats that are underneath the overdriven bass line that he throws on top of him on this album, a lot of those are good. And
yeah, they're perfectly fine.
Not good. Yeah, they're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking ruins them by not having the vocal track. Where did the vocal track go? Nobody knows.
Yeah. So I've got a track 1.5 note. And the reason I say that is because I listened to Acapellas before this, and then I went straight into What the Fuck. After What the Fuck, I got an ad for an Illenium song, which Illenium is kind of like EDM dance pop guy, does remixes and stuff like that. Holy shit. I've never been a bigger fan of that motherfucker. And after listening to all that Viper and then getting this ad, I did not want to hit the skip button.
Wow. That is the good thing, I suppose, about listening to the Viper playlist rather than the Viper Vivo albums. Because he'll just throw the entire album up on his YouTube, but if you listen to it on the official YouTube thing, the YouTube playlist, it's not bad.
Every now and again, you'll get like a brief respite in the form of an ad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up is I Remember When We Once Had Love.
Yes.
Which is, of course, I Remember When You Was in Love With Me. I want to take a second to give him a shout out for giving one of the songs a name that is clearly meant to be a different song in the original and actually getting it right.
Yeah, well, he does it. There's actually a couple on this album that I thought he did a good job like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no, like, goof ups. He doesn't, like, repeat a song. He doesn't just get two of them mixed up. He just... In 2013, Viper still knew how to rip off his own music. It's awesome. Yeah. So, you all have your notes for I Remember When We Once Had Love.
The only notes I have is that the percussion on this is shit. I guess it's the original percussion on it, because it is just as washed out as his vocals. This entire album, by the way, he sounds like dog shit. His actual vocals. There's like one or two songs
if you
where
could hear
it's
him
okay.
at all.
Yeah, if you can hear him at all. There's one or two that sound okay, but for the most part, they're complete dog shit, washed out. Like, I feel like he used YouTube-mp3.org or one of those websites to like rip his own shit off of YouTube, because it is just super compressed. Like his vocals are super compressed, and I guess the original percussion on this is what he used.
Dude, I think you're giving him too much credit. He got this shit off of BearShare. Like,
he resurrected Napster and used Napster.
Viper's next album is funded by Sean Parker or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
Dude, he's gonna use all of his scrabbles from Last FM.
God damn it. All right. What are your notes?
Okay.
Yo, you have any?
Yeah, so Once Had Love is how I wrote down the title. I said more overpowering bass, but this time the bass itself is mono. There's this little progression that sounds like some sort of like reversed thing. It's a 1-3-2 major key progression. It's okay in spite of what all's going on in the song. And that little chord progression happens during the chorus. The only other note I had was the kick drum is clearly bit crushed and farting. If you listen very closely, there's some kind of high end distortion happening that just sounds like at the end of the kick drum's resonance, it just farts a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I believe it was on one of the first Week's albums, or maybe it was on Yule Cowards, the song.
Yeah, you had the fucking...
The robot
sounds
farts.
like a robot farts.
Robot farts.
Yeah.
Legendary note. I think you probably know this. You've heard us say it before, but Viper has a real love for just taking other people's vocals or bass lines or riffs and then playing it backwards.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this is just totally ripped from something.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, third track on this album.
A grinder you dealin' with. That is They Ain't Feelin' Me, of course, again from Southwest Hooligan.
This is the point, I've mentioned this multiple times now, I'm going to mention it again. I've gotten to the point in our Viper journey where it takes me like 3 songs before I realize that it's just a bunch of remix songs. So, especially this week on the first 2, because it was different beats and because I couldn't hear the lyrics, I thought the first 2 songs were original songs the first time I heard them. So when I got to this song, when I got to grinding and dealing or whatever, grinder you dealing with, my note is, God damn it, 2 songs. He fooled me for 2 fucking songs. Because that's what he's going for, right? He's trying to trick you into thinking that it's original stuff. And I believed Viper. I almost never believe him, but I believed Viper for 2 songs. I was really excited. I thought we were going to be like, damn, I'm glad we got the album that Ben's going to listen to is going to be originals. But nope. Fucking nope. Just Southwest Hooligan, the Subwoofer remix.
See, I've got the sickness because I didn't need to look any of these up. I just know them.
God.
Even hidden under the new shit, I was like, okay, I hear you.
God damn it.
Because he's very nice, and his choruses, when you can hear them, are just the name of the song.
Yeah.
Or they're so ridiculous that you're like, oh yeah, of course, this is I'll Be Off Probation, because he's got that weird, like 4 minutes sample just plastered all over it. And it's like, okay, well, I know what this is now.
Well, and a call back to earlier in this episode, I did know just from looking at it that there were at least going to be a couple remix songs, because I scrolled down and I saw Haters in parentheses 9900 and I was like, okay, all right.
Probably Hooligan of the Southwest probably gave it away too.
I just have that written in my notes as Southwest Hooligan.
Yeah, pretty much. What do you have for a grinder you dealing with?
I said weird melody. The mix is better on this one.
Yes.
I put no vocals, which I mean you can't hear the vocals, and then I said, but I guess that's what I signed up for. Then I said I feel like I'm spiraling, which is indicative of literally every podcast that I've heard from you guys. Garrett gets to about track 3 and he's like, I ain't got nothing to say for a couple tracks, just keep scrolling. I said there's this really cool, so I didn't think I was going to remember this when I took these notes. Deep down within everything, and maybe it's on the original track, there's this like moogie sounding melody, and it's like it's kind of in the right ear a little bit, but it's like wow. It's like kind of a decent sound. I would like to hear what that actually is, but as we said, this is the 808 bass jam remix of Southwest Hooligan. And I said really cool moogie melody that's buried sadly. Sub bass melody is okay. There's weird ass parts that aren't bad if used by anyone else. But,
no, literally Again, Southwest Hooligan is a decent Viper album, and he just makes it. He makes it like the weirdest thing is I think that little spoiler alert. I gave this a 5 out of 10, and the reason being is I think that genuinely, if he had just taken the vocal tracks, the original vocal tracks, and put them over new beats, which is what I think he was trying to do by turning them down so much. I think he genuinely just doesn't have the just vocal tracks by themselves anymore. If he had done that, not only would have that been like kind of a breath of fresh air compared to what we're used to, but like I don't hate some of the heavy bass lines. I think that some of them are okay. Like Ben said earlier, I was kind of bobbing my head to some of them. I think that what really kills this album is the combination of the decent Southwest Hooligan stuff turned all the way down, and then the decent bass boosted stuff turned all the way up, and they both work against each other. I think if he had gone with just the bass boosted, it wouldn't have been nearly as bad as it turned out being.
I agree that it would have been better if he had just planted the vocals on there, but I think giving it a 5 for what he didn't do is a little unfair. I don't think that this is worthy of a 5. If he had scraped the vocals off and put them over the new beats, that's a 5. Like that's probably a fine album.
Right.
But he didn't.
Right.
He washed the whole album out, and then he added this bass that you can only hear. Like that's the only thing you can hear.
Yeah.
And then he just said, "Okay, vocals, go sit in a corner, and then I'm gonna play the old beats out of half of your headset, and everyone else can fuck off.
Well,
buy my album."
Listen, man,
and that was it.
It's at least he's putting new beats on them at all. At least this isn't just like he didn't just put this into fucking Reaper or whatever mixing software and just turned up the bass on it. At least he actually tried to make new beats. So I guess I give him a 5. Okay. I guess I give him a 5 for effort more than anything else.
For effort. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep rumbling. How about that? How about a hustler that's G'd up? That is hustling and winning.
I have no notes.
Okay. All right. So a hustler that's G'd up is the first taste you get of like a lot of stereo elements. The track is very wide. There's this like wind staticky noise that's going on. It's mostly like in the right ear, and it's flanged. He put a flanger on it. And even though it's like a terrible, awful, nasty sound, based on how dead center everything, like it sounds like he just hit mono on all the tracks up to this point. So when you get this stereo thing, it's like, oh, well, that's a breath of fresh air. I can kind of hear a few things now. I put that, that stereo-ness opens the track up. Good but overpowering bass line. I actually would really like the drum pattern if I could hear it. I strangely liked his flow on the chorus. I think I couldn't hear any words, so I was just kind of grooving to the way he was saying things. Mm-hmm. And I was okay with it. I said there's a melody that I feel I'm imagining that would make this like a good track. And I can almost hear it in my head. I can't hear the song, but I can almost hear the melody. It's almost like there should have been some semblance of an acoustic guitar as like a callback melody that I would have been like, okay, this is like, I'll listen to this twice. You know what I mean? But I don't know. There were a few times on the album where I felt like, as somebody who makes music, I could hear myself going, okay, I want to do this right here. I just want to do this right here because it'll make it just a little bit better for me.
Yeah, he's lacking like one ingredient. It's like when you make
he's lacking more than one, but I'm just focusing on one, right? Like, Emerald Lagasse can only do so fucking much.
Yeah, once you've already put it in the oven, you can only save it. So
exactly. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I have no notes for this one. I have no notes. Really, right. I don't have any notes for the last one or the one before that or this one.
Will, I think you're gonna like. I think you're gonna like my first note on the next song.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's hear it. Awaitin' is Death, which is a stupid name.
I thought it was
and
hard
then
as
that
fuck.
Is of course. Awaitin' is Death. Because he has another song somewhere called Death Awaits, and this is just not it. It's Mark Steady Clickin'.
Yes.
What a great name!
So, Mark Steady Clickin'. Yes. Oh yeah. So yeah, what you got for me?
Okay, so my first note is BB Rexa is hot as fuck. I got an ad for one of her songs, and I got reminded of like, oh my god, Look at this woman. This is a woman staring me in the face.
Rather than Viper.
Is that the note that you thought I would like?
Yeah, that's the first note of awaiting his death.
I agree. The first note of every Viper song should definitely be about whatever you're trying to distract yourself with instead of
absolutely, especially when it's a hot woman and it's the next thing that pops up is fucking Viper's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as the song goes, and the way I have this is I have like the format is say like hustler that's G'd up, and then the next line down, tab, then I have my notes. So BB Rexa got her own tab. When I went down to another one, I gave another tab to the track notes, and I said, "There's more stereo stuff going on. I love the cheesy little effects, like the little flipping and whipping in each ear. It's like he sent something through a phaser really fast, and it's goofy and whatever. But at the end of it, I just wrote in all caps, "Shitty fucking song," and "Motherfucker die."
Die, motherfucker.
Die.
Die.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Motherfucker die.
All right, well, how about Baller That Is Envied? That's, of course, It's Me from Southwest Hooligan.
I just wrote Baller.
Oh
Envy.
shit! I skipped an entire song. Oh fuck! Damn.
Yeah, I wrote Baller Envy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's me. It's plain to see you're dealing with a real G.
I wrote that, he went back to mono, back to the big bass. I dig some little melody. I can't conjure it in my head right now. I said I could do without the effects, but whatever. Ain't shit else to say, I guess. I probably couldn't have even. I probably couldn't have even said that because I can't conjure this song in my head. I know the next song.
I fucked it up. This is actually It's Me, Envy. It's me, Envy. I was thinking of the better one from Yule Cowards. So.
Is that one from Yule Cowards?
Sorry, there.
I don't know why. I was gonna say I don't know why I'm acting like I know the answer to that.
Yeah. Let's just move on to Hooligan of the Southwest.
This is awesome.
Which is the Southwest Hooligan from the Southwest Hooligan.
This one is awesome, mostly because on this one, more than any other track on this album, you can hear the original beat. It comes out way more than any other. He tried to hide it on most of the other stuff. On this one, it's like he didn't turn it down enough because he wanted you to hear the vocals. And I'm just reminded of how fucking how not bad the original song is, but also how hilarious it is that he just has two almost equal in volume beats playing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a dense experience.
Yeah, very true. I think Rick Rubin would really have a lot of positive things to say about this album.
I'm no doubt with that one.
I put dope beat if it was mixed, and I wrote that before the bass came in. So I put dope beat if it was mixed. Little 2-chord thing. Drums were cool before the bass came in. I got like that drum. It sounded like he set like a Casio VL1 keyboard down and was like looking at it like, okay, what can I do here? And he hit the drum button and it just played like a consistent drum loop. That was the vibe I got from like the beginning drums. And I suppose that's
probably not far off.
Yeah, well, it's probably not far off, but that's probably why I like it, is because it was something that he himself didn't create.
I'm pretty sure he's still running all of this off of his Yamaha motif.
Well, this is before the Yamaha motif.
Southwest Hooligan.
The original Southwest Hooligan is before the Yamaha motif, because you got the Yamaha motif for Yule Cowards.
You're right. So this is after. So the bass is from that, but the original beats are
right.
Not.
Correct, and they're somehow better.
Oh, I also had a note early on. I wanted to say that I think these songs were mastered very poorly.
Oh, really?
But then I scribbled it out, and I realized, like, no, I just have personally never heard, like, so like, okay, so when you, like, master something, when you put something, there's a threshold to what gets, like, clipped. Like, if you take a microphone and overdrive it and start talking into it, and then you start yelling into it, you're going to get, like, clipping and distortion and shit like that. When you have like a DAW, a digital audio workstation, like a multi-track DAW going, and you have all these songs going into it, you can take and put things on the top of it, and that's how you master it. Is you've got essentially these effects, for lack of a better term, that are going on top of it, like a compressor and EQ and what's called a limiter and everything like that. So I had like my phone, I was listening to it, and I felt like I could hear what's called a compressor ducking the audio. And I was like, did he actually try to master these songs himself? And then I realized, no, he didn't, because I had the volume in my headphones turned all the way up. And you can't do that to most songs or you'll go deaf. And it was literally, he just had so much bass going into this shit that the audio in all other aspects of the song was literally dying before my ears. Like, I can hear melodic elements like trying to wave at me, and then they just get stomped by Lee Dog's fucking bass foot. It's very sad. It's a very sad image that I got in my head.
Yeah, like I said, this would have been way better if he had just had the bass, or just honestly at this.
If it was just an album of bass.
Yeah, well, just the bass in the original vocal tracks.
Viper acapellas and then
had a
Viper
great-
bass
hold on.
lines.
Yeah, I had exactly the same idea. You make this entire album of bass, and then you slap the acapellas verses on there.
That would be awesome, dude. He would sell that for $30.
Yes. How about we move on? Let's keep rumbling. Let's go to "I'm Loved by Every
This
Woman
has to be
Alive."
like "All Girls Love Me" or something like that.
No, it's actually "My Life Being Famous."
Damn it!
All Girls Are in
dude.
Love with Us is from These Rappers Claim They Hard. I remember that
Well,
because
but
that's
there's
the
also-
only one that I like.
There's also a song that he also has called "All Girls Are in Love with Me," and that's not this either. So you
Wait,
know,
I thought All Girls Are
he's
in
just
Love
the
with
best.
Us and All Girls Are in Love with Me are the same song.
no, they're not. One of them is from Ready and Willing, and one of them is from "You'll Cowards" or whatever.
No, it's from These Rappers.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
the only.
That
That's
one's-
my only. I still. That one has a soft spot in my heart because every time I hear that
it's
song,
so catchy.
every time I hear that song, I'm like, all right, I still remember listening to this one, so I don't have to take notes on it.
Yeah. No, this is "My Life Being Famous," which is much less interesting, I would say.
My only note is God Almighty.
Yeah, so I was okay. I have to admit, I was on the shitter when I was listening to the song, which I thought was
Okay.
very apropos. And I put in quotations with a question mark, "All Girls Love Me," because I thought I guessed one right.
No,
But I put shit sounds like Jay Holiday or Fabulous. All right, sample, and that like phrase comes into play later. I said I can hear there's a compressor going nuts, and then apparently some time had passed, and I wrote, okay, it's not a sample. He just ripped someone else's song.
Yes, that's correct.
I said I'm enjoying their work, and I hope they get her back.
yeah, I was never a big fan of this one.
No, this one
But-
was one of the first, like, when we were listening to the first 4 albums for our first episode, the first time I heard this song was the first time I went, oh, okay, that's what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is
We're getting
literally
close to
just
Garrett's. What Garrett said at the time was his least favorite song of the first episode. We're getting very close.
that
to
is
it.
true. That is true.
But let's go to "Pure Hatred of Me" in parentheses 9,900,
Yeah.
which of course is 9,900 haters on the wall. The most just absolutely petty, small bullshit thing I've ever heard in my entire life. This makes me so sad. This song is so just depressing.
Oh, I have come completely
Yeah.
180 on that.
So-
I fucking love this song now.
So this is the biggest note. This takes up almost an entire page, the notes that I have.
Okay.
So
Let's
I
get
said, great song. I've heard the OG. I love the cdbaby.com /Viper advertisement. The melody is good. I'd be mad too if God made me like you.
Yes,
like
that
line,
doesn't go
that
hard.
line, like 7 companies for clientele, 7 secretaries that treat me well, 2 black, 2 Latin, 2 Asian, 1 white. What's a trip is they all fine. This is just a great message, a good progressive inspirational tune, 10 out of 10. And then I said the flute reminds me of Kingdom Hearts Traverse Town. Now I hate it.
The idea of hyping up like, man, y'all don't want my stuff. I don't even care if you ever buy my stuff. but if I ever see you, I will shoot you immediately.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool as shit.
That's baller.
Also, I'm loving like re-listening to this. We haven't done a real deep dive into an album we listened to, and this is exactly why I wanted to have guests, because I knew that we were just going to get a remixed version of an album we've listened to, and it was going to give us an opportunity to relive all the moments that we had when on these originals. Because when we were spending 10 minutes discussing Viper's choice of which women he was going to have in his secretarial positions, that was the first time, like when we were recording that, I was like, okay, we're going to make multiple episodes of this podcast because this shit's good.
This is really good.
When you guys were first listening to this song, I remember I was working, like, listening to the podcast, and when you guys started talking about, like, this track specifically and going through it and, like, your energy and everything, I had to stop listening to you and go, like, hear what...
Go listen to 9,000
and so this is legitimately, like, the only one that I actually knew. And I can tell you right now, like, being in the middle of the album, it was such a great intermission. It was, like, the greatest... I was so happy to find
the beat is still good.
It's great. It's a great beat. It sounds like the fucking Traverse Town theme in Kingdom Hearts, which sucks. I can't tell you how many times as a child I fell asleep to that song, and now that song is like PTSD for nightmare fuel. And
I have number one, 2 comments about that. Number one, I know that wasn't a child. That was you in high school, my friend. And number 2, mine for that is Ben will remember this one too. This is kind of a personal one, but we used to go to our friends.
The first time we ever made love was the Traverse Town theme.
No, we used to go to our friend's cabin, and for whatever reason, he only had one DVD, and it was the DVD of Joe Dirt. And so we would we were in high school, so we'd stay up till like 2 a.m, and we'd watch Joe Dirt. And then we would wake up and everybody would be super tired and like not want to turn the TV off, and it would just play the fucking menu theme from Joe Dirt.
It would play the first like opening lick and the first verse of "Burning for You" by Blue Oyster Cult over and over and over and over again
for hours on end.
No,
hours on end. All right, let's move on.
Okay, well, next up is called rappers that are simp made.
Did Viper coin this term?
Most of these rappers are... That's what I was wondering. He said this on one of his like really early ones. He just calls people simps. I don't know. Probably.
I hope so. I hope that he invented
it. The original is most of these rappers is tricks.
That's a fact. That's a valid statement.
Yeah.
Can confirm. Am a trick. So I put, he's telling some story that I'm kind of interested in, but I can't hear what the fuck he's saying. Apparently there's like a good little hidden melody in there, and the snare is reversed. It's okay. It's not great. I think it would have been better if it was just a normal snare instead of like that, like it's got like a revert. It's reversed, and it just, I'm not a big fan of that. And Viper seems to do that quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he thinks that's creativity when he takes the GarageBand like basic tracks that come on GarageBand, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna take this, but I'm gonna throw it in reverse and then use that to make the entire beat. He thinks that's creativity.
So, what I like about this is that he's roasting a guy because this is the story for you. He's mad because this guy got made. He got his record deal. This is like. He also made that motherfuck your record company at one point.
Yeah. It's motherfuck your record label trick bitch. That's the chorus.
He is mad because even though Viper he is sexy man with many dimples.
Facts.
This rapper who is a trick was able to get signed, and so he's like, man, if you can get signed, it's not even worth getting signed. And then he makes the other song, like, fuck your record label. I definitely don't ever want to get made. I don't want to get signed. And then he makes For Me to Be Made about how he just got made. That's awesome.
And also 9,900 Haters, where he's like, I just want fame and popularity. I want you to listen to my album, but I don't care if you don't listen to my album.
I don't know what he's about. What did you think of rappers that are simp made?
What did you think, Garrett? I said what I think. I didn't.
I don't have anything until bedtime stories. So
God, what a terrible
All right.
song.
Well, let's keep going then. How about Snitches I'm Prepared
Dog,
For?
I have my first
This is-
first Garrett note. I literally just put stupid
Yeah.
sample, underlined it 3 or 4
Yep.
times, and moved on.
This is Garrett's least favorite song, at least from the first episode. I'll be off probation. This one sucks, dude. I don't know.
this one
I'm surprised. Y'all want to just move on to
Yeah,
Stories
fuck
for
yeah.
Sleep? and
absolutely,
let this
stories
one
for
rot?
sleep, baby.
So this is Stories for Sleep, which is What Up. My only note before I let you all go is that halfway through the song, the volume just stops and drops way down, and I don't know why.
That's true. That is correct.
It's like he forgot to bury the beat under a bunch of bass, and so he just did it halfway through when he remembered.
Yeah. I fucking love this song. I miss this song. Every time I go more than a couple hours without hearing this song, I start to die.
Yeah. So I put cool reverse piano stuff, lame drums, and again the reverse snare. It's got a real creepy vibe. What? Oh, I love that he went easy on the sub bass. I thought,
Yeah, he does.
When that happens, it makes it much easier to listen to.
He does that a lot more on the later part of this album. That was actually, I didn't say it, but that was one of my notes for 9,900 Haters, is that he actually, like, the bass boost doesn't ruin that song.
Yeah.
It's more subtle, and it's not like he.
It just sounds like you got into like your friends buying some weed. So you have to go with them to get in like their dealer's car, and then you get in there and he's got the bass turned up way too much. But it's like, okay,
I could
fine,
still
whatever.
hear it.
Yeah.
Like, this song was kind of made for it. This song kind of works with it.
Yeah, it just sounded like the bass turned up in a shitty ass Nissan Sentra.
In a Chevy Cavalier.
Exactly. The only other thing I had to say was when I heard the line, "I slap your homie in the face," I got really excited inside as to what he might say next, but I couldn't understand it. And so I went to go look for the lyrics, couldn't find them, but I came across, what is it? I Got to Ball or something like that. And I just wanted to give some props myself. I don't know if you guys have given props to these lyrics, but
Oh, Will does all the time.
and I'm gonna do my best.
I love this song.
I'm gonna do my best Will impersonation here. Okay. In my house, I got 13 maids.
Oh, yeah,
7
yeah.
from the motherland and 6 from Spain. These ladies straight take care of they thug, massages, bath sex, showers, and back rubs. What can a baller say? Sometimes I just chill and don't leave for days. Getting freaked while watching my 90-inch flat screen. Ring a bell, 14 more girls are checking to see if they need hugging, warm touching,
or old-fashioned fucking.
That is just that is some of the hardest shit I've ever read.
I'm glad that you like that. That is my favorite. I think that's my favorite song of Vipers still. Although I would like to read for you those lyrics that you were looking for to What Up about I Slapped Your Homie's
Please
Face.
do.
Because I think you will be gravely disappointed by the content that follows it. So this is the start of verse 2. He says, I slapped your homie in the face. Yule marks all tired in my place. I done told you, anti-gay slur. I'm about to let you bustas have it.
That's a shame.
He rhymed the anti-gay slur with it.
I do want to say,
So-
he does, a lot of times he does use that anti-gay slur, but he also talks constantly about busting on men.
He does talk about if the men show up, he's gonna bust. So,
So,
you know.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah, he says that word twice in that verse,
Correct.
which is.
and I think that was the first time that we pointed that out, where we were like, okay, fuck you, Viper.
Yeah.
That was the point in episode
Yeah.
1 where I said, listen, guys, Viper's a terrible fucking human being. Don't support him if you have the choice to not.
I'm pretty sure you said that you wanted to say that this was your favorite song of the week, but you genuinely were fighting among yourself because it's so funny, but also he says the bad word
Twice. Yeah.
How about my favorite name on the original? This one is called Time to Shine, which is a neutered version of Time to Shine and Climb from My Grind from the original.
God damn it, I forgot.
So
Yeah, what you got?
I wrote more big bass. There's this little hidden chiptune melody in there that's really good. You got to kind of dig your ears deep into it, but it's not bad. Dumb fucking chorus. Mono everything. There's this ambient air in the background that sounds like, okay, so the best way I can describe it is, have you ever plugged a guitar into an amp and you just hear like just the resting static?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that happens in like analog circuitry. Like if you have like you used the phrase before, compressor. If you have an analog compressor and you've got a microphone running in and out of it, just having that thing on, there will be the slightest hint of static. It sounds like he's just got that static and he turned it way the fuck up and then ran it through like a flanger. So it's like static, but it's warbling all in stereo, and I came on here wanting to use the phrase, and I didn't think I would actually find reason for the phrase to be used in the music, but it's almost like viper boarding. It's like torture. It's torture. It's like dropping the water droplet on your forehead or anything like that. It's just viper boarding is the only way I could describe it. It's just awful.
Yeah, where it just, you hear something that's fucked up and it's like
stop hearing
it's something that would be fixed super easily if he was at all competent. Not even competent, because he is somewhat competent at recording, because we've seen good stuff from him, or at least decent stuff. If he wasn't so fucking lazy or fucking, shitty of a person, like, he could just get rid of it and it would be so much better. But once you hear it, that's the only thing you can focus on. That was one of the biggest things with like the early albums, is I would remember like there would be these weird vocal or recording artifacts on it, where it would just be like a pop at the end of every verse where he like hit the mute button on his microphone to take a breath or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to focus on anything else for the entire song. I just was like, oh my God, I can't stop hearing that fucking pop. I can't stop hearing that one thing. And sometimes like Will would notice one that I wouldn't notice, or I'd notice one that Will wouldn't notice. And it was just like, once you hear it, that's the only thing you can hear for the rest of that fucking song. And yeah, the static warbling, the static shit, par for the fucking course when it comes to a Viper remix. So I'm glad you got to experience, and I'm glad we have a name for that now, Viper boarding. I really like Viper boarding.
Wow. How about another great name? This one's called To Blast on These Marks, which isn't that cool, but I want to blow, kill, and blast on them is awesome. And I think that the bass or the beat or whatever is actually, you can hear here. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So wait, so what is the original again?
I want to blow, kill, and blast on them.
So he starts with oral. He murders them.
And then you kill them.
And then he proceeds to just finish on top of
then
the
you
remains.
blast on them.
Lord.
That's correct.
That's Viper for you.
I thought this beat was cool.
Yeah, I said the first note I have is fucking hard beat.
Yeah. It's too bad. It's too bad it's this song on this album and not like anything else.
Yeah, I put fucking hard beat. There's this little like Fender Rhodes sounding melody. Good shit. This song fucks. Good drum pattern too. I don't know what the fuck kind of vibes. I put something, I don't know. Sonic vibes. Yeah, I got shitty handwriting. Goddamn it. I got shitty handwriting.
Sonic.
Yeah, I got like something about it sounds like the Sonic soundtrack to me.
Like which, like Sonic 06 or
no, like
Green Hill
like
Zone?
some of the stuff like that. Like,
did you say Green Hell Zone?
Green Hill.
You said Green Hell.
Well, shut up.
He said, "Shut up, Garrett." Sorry, we're fighting. We're fighting over. God damn it!
Just fucking do what I do and just leave your notes on the floor for like days at a time.
You want to go on to Men? Well, or You Men
I was about to say, I wrote
You Men No. Are you dyslexic? I knew you were colorblind,
but I'm just a little off right now. The original is Boys Know. So the boys have grown.
Yeah, they've gotten older.
As Viper says on Acapellas, I have grown from a dope boy to a dope man.
Hell yes.
Correct.
I didn't have a goddamn
very
thing to
minimal.
say about this
I
one.
wrote that it's an okay beat. There's a lot of those reversed elements that we talked about earlier. The pad and melodies are kind of cool. If you listen in the back, there's like a synth pad that's doing an alright progression. Reversed vocal stab is really cool. That's a thing that I use when I make instrumentals at times. I think it was really cool. It was used really well. And then towards the end of the song, I was like, oh, he pretty much just, this is Viper's version of a Drake beat. That's what it sounds like to me.
And Boys Know is the name of Drake's next album, actually. No,
Probably.
I hope he covers this song.
I do too. I hope Drake covers this fucking song.
I want to hear Drake say, "Boys, they know," and then
Uh-oh.
Have you ever heard Headlines? He's just got a part in the song where he's going, they know, they know, they know.
True.
Uh-huh.
True. I gave this album a 2.
Like I said, I gave it a 5 just because I think that it is more effort than just chopping and screwing. He's actually like doing some extra creative effort, which he doesn't normally do anymore. And I think that, you know, we give a lot of credit to him when he does do creative stuff at this point in our Viper journey, where if he has like an original album or an original song, we give him some credit. And so I'm willing to give him credit.
Actually, you know what? I'll bump that up to a 3 because he actually did it. He actually took a 15-song album, edited it, made a 15-song album without repeating anything or getting any of the names wrong, which he somehow forgot how to do over the next 3 or 4 years after this. So I'll give him a 3. I think that's.
And
good.
I also think that, you know, it is, like I said, it is, I'm just giving him enough credit. I think I would actually probably bump him down. I was kind of between giving him a 4.5 and a 5. So I think I may actually bring him down to a 4.5 now that you mentioned, like, you know, he did just kind of shit on not using just the straight vocal tracks. And I would have given this I probably would have given this a 5.5 or a 6 if it had just been the lyrics or vocal tracks from Southwest Hooligan with new beats. But for the fact that he even put effort towards that, I think is commendable as far as Viper is concerned.
I agree.
So, go ahead.
I was just gonna move us to the next album. But if you got something to say, go for it.
So I'm gonna have to agree with Garrett on that. I'm gonna give it a 4.5, but for none of the reasons that he said.
Okay.
How you could give anything that this man puts out more than a 0, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will say, as much effort as I put into reviewing this, I want to give it something. So I'm going to agree with Garrett on a 4.5 because Dogecoin right now is at 45 cents. So I'm just going to sit it. I'm just going to sit it right about there. I'm just going to give it the Dogecoin special. So I'm going 4.5 with Garrett Bear.
All right.
Wow. All right, well, let's go to the Beast of the Best.
I want to point out, I do need to tell you, this is one of, or the next, both of the albums that we listened to besides, fucking this one, the one that we just listened to. I've already.
You didn't put a lot of effort into these, did you?
I listened to them in the car, so I do not have notes. I was
I'll do my best.
Somewhere.
There's not a lot here, so I'll put everybody on my back for a second. I first want to point out though, I'm pretty sure The Beast of the Best is a parody of the Iron Maiden album called The Best of the Beast.
Fuck yeah.
There's nothing on this that has anything to do with Iron Maiden, but you cannot tell me that that's not what this is, because it's literally just flipping of words. When did this come out? This album came out in 2013.
Okay.
Best of the Beast came out in 1996.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you have a time frame in 2013?
I mean, late. He would have already had to release "You Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack," so I assume mid to late
2013. Because if this takes place after SummerSlam 2013, then this may be a reference to a promo that Brock Lesnar cut on CM Punk in the build-up to that SummerSlam, where he got in a little squabble with him on Monday Night Raw, and he gets backstage, and there's this funny video of it because he looks like he doesn't know what the fuck he's about to say, and he just goes, "That's the best of the best of the best of the best that wrestling has to offer," and then he pauses and looks right into the camera and goes, "I'm the beast and the best." Paul, say something stupid. and the video moves on. So I will say I agree with you, but there is a possibility due to proximity to SummerSlam 2013 that it may be a reference to that. And Viper may in fact be a professional wrestling fan himself.
And this man smoked crack. I'm not gonna say that smoking crack and watching professional wrestling isn't actually. Hold on. All right, so let me walk through what I look at when I do a YouTube search for Viper, Beast of the Best. It's the album Best of the Beast from Iron Maiden, yes. And then a bunch of cars, and then the character from Valorant, and then a little bit further down is where is it? It is it's a compilation called Randy Orton Destroys Legends WWE playlist.
Hey, so it's not that far-fetched.
I mean, there are many things between the top of the list and there, but it's not impossible.
All I'm saying is I agree with Will that the Venn diagram of people who smoke crack and people who watch wrestling has some overlap. Yeah. There is a middle portion there of people who both smoke crack and watch professional wrestling. All right, we're at an hour 10, so let's get through these albums.
Okay, this is a 16-song album. He starts with Peepin' the Hatred, which is Hatin' on Me from 5'9" Pure Music. This is the one where the demon voice just says hating over and over again. It is what it is. I don't notice any changes to these songs. I think it's the originals.
Yeah, that's maybe I wrote this one off pretty quickly.
Barely changed. The next one is called Gettin' Follow-Up Dunks in Every Game, which is actually My Hustle from Ready and Willing. It may seem like that's a weird follow-up to go from 5'9" Pure Music to Ready and, but don't worry, they're all Ready and Willing songs for the rest of the album. Okay, second song, I'm 'Bout My Money Only. This is I'm Watching These Haters. He censored the word fuck on this version for whatever reason, but he did not censor the anti-gay slur.
Fuck yeah. So, I love that for you, Viper.
There's also kind of a theme here where a lot of this is about having a lot of money. He's talking about money, even though most of the songs on Ready and Willing are not about money.
A lot of them are about how he doesn't have money.
Exactly. Next is Risin' While Hoopin'. That's Making Sure from Ready and. This is the song that has that boomerang sound effect on it. And so I just gave the TV channel Boomerang's tagline, Boomerang, it's all coming back to you.
God damn it.
Because I heard it and I was like, oh, it's coming back to me. And then it hit me that's their thing. So next is called Viper 2 Real. That's TOO Real. Mm-hmm. That is Blingin' from Ready.
Your favorite. Your favorite.
Sucks. That song sucks. I hate that song. And I'm glad that you got to know me exclusively and primarily through this podcast to the point where Garrett was like, yeah, one of the main things that Ben knows about you is that you don't like Blingin' from Ready and Willing.
I fucking hate that song. That's literally like that's I'm not gonna lie, and I don't mean to like shrink you down to this because
that's okay.
Because we barely know each other. But literally, I think of Will, I think of Two Cowards, and the next thing I think of when I hear your name is Blingin'.
Dude, that's awesome. I love that.
You have become what you hate.
I am the Blingin'.
Well, what's the quote from like episode 1 that you always say? The first quote that you ever sent me, because he just tells me our jokes like the day.
I'll just text him like the day after the podcast goes up because it'll give me a day to listen to it at work, and then I'll just start texting him just shit.
Our
like
jokes.
when you read that thing off of I guess it was Genius or whatever, and you were like
the Serbia.
The Serbia
thing. like the ape of the King Ape of the Jungle, George Bush, and Garrett fucking loses it. That like, oh my god.
But one of the quotes from the first episode, it was not the first episode. It's another Ready and Willing remix.
When we hear Blingin' again,
and you just go, I was thinking, my only note for this song originally was, man, I really fucking hate this song. And then I went and looked, and it's fucking blinging.
It's just fucking blinging.
Yeah, I couldn't quite remember what it was, but I knew I didn't like it, and then I just see that it's fucking blinging.
Like you have this like certain timbre in your voice. You have a very professional reviewer's timbre in your voice when on this podcast, and every time this song gets brought up, you know when you get mad and you start talking faster, like as a human being, you start going, God, it's fucking like this song blinging. I fucking hate it.
Blinging.
You speed up and you're like, can we just stop talking about fucking blinging? 2 fucking seconds.
Oh wow. Well, let's do
it. Let's stop talking about
blinging.
fucking blinging.
Dude, when it's your birthday, I'm going to personally buy you a card where you can record a song when you open it up, and you're just gonna open it up and it's just gonna play blinging.
You're gonna do a cover of blinging for me?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't say that.
Okay. A man can dream. Let's go to This Killa Made of Money. Mm-hmm. This is Ball by the Mall. Mm-hmm. What do you want me to say? This is an unedited version of Ball by the Mall. Do you want to hear me talk about this?
Dude, I don't remember that the original song.
How about Money Made from Maulin', which you would think would be either Ball by the Mall that has Maulin' in it, or any of the songs about Maulin', but it's actually Grind to Shine Time, which is another great name, but a pretty boring song. How about I Don't Care About No Price Amount? Of course, you already guessed, that's Flat on Thy Back from Ready and Willing. That song's lame too. Yeah. It's just like, I guess Flat on Thy Back is not the worst way you could describe someone as dead, but come on, Flat on Thy Back, I don't know. How about, this is a great name, Haters One Hand Dunk. Real N-words, 2-hand dunk only.
Well, there's a lot of his fucking remix are 2-hand hanger dunk remix.
2-hand hanger dunks only, exactly.
Dude, his love for basketball is like severely understated by the fan base.
Yeah,
I agree.
Everybody be focusing on the crack, but he be focusing on the ballin'.
Like one of his most popular songs is about his ability to elevate in the air.
Exactly. So what do you think the song Haters One Hand Dunk, Real N-words, 2-hand dunk only is?
I'm gonna guess.
So haters wear Jordans because Jordan is going up for a one-handed dunk, and real ones wear like the off-brand Shaq shoes because Shaq is a 2-hand dunk in that pose. That's my guess.
Okay.
That's the name of the song?
That is not the name of a song, but...
Oh, I thought you meant like, what is the point of this song?
No,
I was given like a genius annotation. I thought I was given like a genius annotation.
That's pretty good. Actually, I like that because those Shaq shoes were made. They are Shaq's. They are his shoes, and he designed them to be cheap, so that kids that were poor could actually afford to buy shoes.
Shout out Shaq, dude, the great Aristotle.
The big Aristotle, himself. My man. Well, I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. This is actually All Girls Are in Love with Me.
That was gonna be my guess, but I couldn't remember if I genuinely I can't get it in my head that there's All Girls Are in Love with Me and All Girls Are in Love with Us.
I want to read the chorus because I think you may have forgotten it because I think I did. The chorus, and this repeats, so I'll only read it once. Gravy, all girls freaking me.
Facts.
Actually, I'm sorry, gals, not girls. There are no girls freaking Viper, only gals.
Only gals and cutie pies.
Only gals are in a song about all girls loving us.
And gravy. How about having real money like fake money? I don't know what that means. You have so much real money that you would think it's fake, but it's actually real, I guess. That's My Expeditions as a Baller.
Which is still a good song.
That is a pretty good song and a great name.
Great name.
I love that. That's a autobiography title.
That is, My Expeditions as a Baller. I like that one. I like that song a lot still too. Yeah,
it's pretty alright. The hook's pretty good. How about Madman Riches? This is, of course, What Would It Take? Which is the song about him trying to get a woman back, which has nothing to do with Madman Riches, but...
Well, that's how he's going to get the woman back, is by having the riches.
Okay. That's not great. How about maintaining top cash? Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this like, I'm the top of the game, or like, anything that has anything to do with maintaining top cash? No, it's I Keep It Real from Ready and Willing,
Alright.
which is,
Yo,
it's fine. That one's really boring.
can we
I don't
talk
know.
about some business? I just had an amazing idea.
Let's talk business.
I don't even
yeah.
mean to cut you off like that. I know this
No,
this
there's
podcast
nothing
is
going on.
waning. Can we have a Viper bingo night where we have a lot of Viper classics on a bingo board?
Oh,
and
that's
as
a
you,
great
And
idea.
as you go through
As
these
you do
titles,
them?
like if you hear "All Girls Are in Love with Us," you put the bingos thing down.
That's awesome. That's a really
That
good
is an
idea.
excellent. That is a live stream worthy event, I
Absolutely.
believe.
Absolutely.
That's a great
Oh my
idea, Ben.
gosh.
That
I'll
is
even
fantastic.
post that on the Viper Discord, and we'll go to like some bingo website, because there has to be a bingo website where you can make a randomized thing
Oh,
with
absolutely.
Oh,
like inputs and stuff like that.
Or you could just give me a fake one and I could make them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like give me an empty one and I can just make one or many.
And we can
That's a
literally
great
you can
idea.
literally like continue to do the albums the same way you do them, but just each album
But
yeah,
live.
but each album you swipe the bingo card.
Oh.
If anyone wins, they have to like message us.
That's
and
a great
I don't know
idea.
what the fuck we would do.
That's a great idea.
A shout out, one shout out on the show. That's
one
an
shout
excellent
out.
idea.
Speaking of shoutouts, Ben, are you Ghost Napa 01?
I am not Ghost Napa 01, but I'm pretty. So I thought Ghost Napa 01 was Will,
I know, right?
because Ghost Napa
Aaron also thought
01
that.
commented on like 2 or 3 of my videos.
That's awesome.
So
Really?
yeah, I'm gonna go on my YouTube right now to see if I can find. I don't want to confirm
All
that
right,
it was a
well-
What's My Age Again video.
While Ben is doing that, take us through the end of this album. Will.
Okay, so how about Stupid Crazy Money? That's You Gon' Die. Of course. The realest mauler of all maulers is It's On. And then Top Man on the Hill is Feel, which I will give you almost anything if you can give me the hook to Feel right now, because I didn't remember it. I just knew this is what the beat sounded
You put a
like.
gun to my head, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Ghost Napa in the comments knows, but I do not. How about Too Much Money I'm Folding? You might think that's So Much Cash I Got, but oh nope, that's not on this album. This is They Can't Fold Me. Remember this one? You remember this classic? They Can't Fold Me?
No.
I don't even remember you
Me
guys saying
neither.
that.
Ready and has been a long time, and this is the one that he consistently has messed up when he remixes
Right.
it. But he didn't this time. He actually successfully made another album where he didn't mess up the order or make copies of a song.
He must have been like
good
laying
job.
off the crack a little bit in 2013 at this point.
Maybe so.
Was this the famous year, or was that 2014?
That was 2014 was the famous
We
year.
have not gotten there yet. Oh, but we
You
will.
may never get there, according to
We
one
will.
of your previous
no.
podcasts.
Well, we found him on. I guess that maybe that hasn't
No,
come
that
out
one,
yet,
that episode
but,
hasn't gone up yet.
Okay, we found more on the YouTube topic channel. So they exist, but only on YouTube, and probably not all of them, but we have enough. We have enough now to keep going. In case anyone out there was worried that the podcast would end,
Or that we would just switch
We're going
full
strong.
time to Ancient Aliens, but
which we still could at any time.
That's true.
How about we move on to the last album? Actually, I gave this album a 2.
I gave it a 2 as well.
All right. How about You Are So Trash? So here's the problem, right? This is a Cobra record of These Rappers Claim They Hard,
Which has already
which
been
is
done.
the song that all of the Cobra records are
Right.
from, except half the songs he doesn't get the Viper Cobra, like the Father Viper voice correct.
Right.
And he accidentally does Diamondback and or Venom for some reason. Maybe it's intentional. But this is credited officially as a Cobra album and not a Viper album. But I mean, it's the same crap you expect, except artifacting.
Yeah.
So it's almost unlistenable half
Yep.
the time.
Correct.
Here we go. So we're going to start with another random 5'9" Pura music song, except it's not random. It's the exact same one as before.
Will, I want to say something real quick. Ben gets a look on his face every time you say Piru. Apparently, we're pronouncing it incorrectly.
Is it Pyru?
Pyru.
Pyru. Okay.
Don't disrespect the gang community.
As
like
Kendrick Lamar
Okay.
once said, if Pirus and Crips all got along, they'd probably
You
smoke
imply
crack
that I
by the end of
listened-
this song.
You assume that I listen to any music that's not Viper. This song is called "The Hatred of Us Is Scoped," which is, of course, hating on me yet again from 5'9" Pirate Music.
Please change it up. Please fucking bring a dictionary out and just keep going.
I'm gonna let Google auto-complete the word every time.
yes.
How about "As We Nonstop Bling and Stang"? Could be any. It could be top peep stang. Could be bling and
sting.
It could be anything, but it's actually.
and sting.
It could be "I Shine" from these rappers. Actually,
Oh, shit.
it's so bad, and this artifacting is so bad. But this is where I picked up on something very interesting, Garrett.
Yeah.
You remember this in the last couple of weeks? I didn't bother to go back, but I found it. Like, I didn't bother to write it down, but I found it. Remember we listened to a version of this album that had some really terrible artifacting?
Oh,
and we couldn't
fuck.
figure it out?
Yes. I can't remember the name of that.
This
album.
is the Cobra edit of that edit that has a bunch of
Oh
artifacting
my
on it.
god, that's the worst. What was
It's the same it's the same order. What's that?
What was that one?
I don't know.
Hey, speaking of
I just
same
remember-
order, do you remember when Viper used to release remix albums that were in a slightly different order? Why
Uh-huh.
doesn't he do that anymore?
I think he does. We just haven't gotten there yet because we had to skip
That's
forward
true.
in time
That's
so
true.
far.
That's true.
And I mean, I guess he technically did it here, where he put it out in the same order with the Cobra edit over it.
True.
So, yeah, next is called "Ball to Forever Mall." This is "Ballin' Not Fallin'."
Oh yeah.
Somehow the artifacting is way worse on the verse than it is on the hook or anywhere else, and it seems attached to the Viper Cobra voice, like the father voice,
Yeah.
where it whatever filter is bringing in static with it. Which I'm not a big music guy, but how is that even possible? If it's the filter that you're putting on the song that's bringing static, don't you think that you would notice that if you were making the song and you did it 16 times on this album?
Well, you assume that he. Your assumption is that he didn't notice and that he released it, not that he noticed and didn't care.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, well let's keep going then. How about "Destroying Them Haters"? Of course, that's hater proof. My note is there's no artifacting on this song, but the song sucks because it's another these rappers claim they hard with Cobra on it.
And it's also hater proof, which is a
It's also
shitty ass song to begin
hater
with.
proof. My stacks are blowing off the roof because now I am
Hater proof.
hater proof. Here's "All Girls Love Us So," which of course is "All Girls Love Us." You want another Cobra version of "All Girls
Not
Love Us"?
particularly. We've had 3.
3?
We've had.
We've had like 8.
Yeah, that's fair.
We
That's
listened
fair.
we listened to 3 on the same week that we listened to the
Yeah,
original
you're
the
right,
first time.
actually.
We've had at least 2 more.
You're right.
I miss Fish and Chips.
I miss fish. I miss.
That was a great
I
album
miss.
name.
I miss Wrapped in Win.
Remember moving rocks, boulders, and bricks?
BOLDERS. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. "We Got a Mall" is "I Gotta Hustle."
I gotta hustle and do my thing.
Do my thing.
That one's
I
kinda
gotta
catchy.
keep hitting stings. Yeah. How about "Made to Major Mall"? That's for me to be made, of course. He threw the "made" in there, so I guess he got it. "Real to Life Maulers." That's "I'm a Clowner," of course. This is my favorite. He really tried with this name. "Too Much Cheddar We Got."
Too much cash
is
I
of
got.
course "So Much Cash I Got." How about "All Girls Give They Thongs to
Thongs
Us"?
fall as my new ride crawl.
There you go. As my new rides crawl, I missed the old English version from whatever.
Oh yeah,
Copa
what was
record
it
that
called?
was.
I
All girls as thongs drop for thou
thought
or
it was like
something ridiculous.
pantaloons or something like that.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really something. Here's the every week we have one album or one song directed at us. Them cowards don't know us. True, we don't know him.
Not yet.
This is of course everyone's favorite album or everyone's favorite song, Peep Stang.
Yep.
Peep Stang. Again,
I want to get a
emotional...
cut. I want to get like a chop of just you. I want to drop. Like I want to get a soundboard eventually, and I just want one to be you saying "Peep Stang."
Yeah. The emotional support viper is the only person who says "Peep Stang" the entire song. It's not even the actual words he says. We be the top of the hustle is I'm the top of the game. Every day we winnin' is I stack all day. We mash all these men is I ride on these boys. Yep. It's interesting here that he like messes up the hook somehow, where he like mashes the hook together with a different hook. It's like he accidentally played half of the first hook and then half of the hook of some other random song. Yeah. But the other song is there's so much artifacting on it that you can't even really tell what it is. So halfway through the hook, you can hear the new beat like clawing its way out of this like pit of death of static, trying to be heard, but it can't quite get out. So all you hear is horrible static. And you're like, I hear you in there, but the house is on fire and I can't go in.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of sad. And then we peepin' these marks is watch me. I don't know. And then everywhere winning is got dudes struggling.
Got dudes struggling.
So that is it. I gave this album a 1.
I gave
it a
2.0.
2.5.
2.0.
Oh,
I gave it a 2.5. I'm changing it to a 2.0.
Yeah, that tells me you didn't listen to the whole thing.
No, I didn't. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
I didn't listen to the whole thing of either of the last two. Because again, I was listening in my car and I only had like an hour and 10-minute drive, and so I would listen to like the first minute and a half of each one, and then by the time I got to like number 12, I was like, I get it.
Every time he would agree with you over the past like 10 minutes, he would look at me, give me a wink, and then put his finger over his lip.
Because I literally
don't tell him that I didn't take a single note or listen to half of these.
I didn't take notes. Again, I was in the car, but I did listen to the majority of both of them.
Okay.
I never don't listen to at least half. I always listen to at least half of the album.
That sounds like a Viper album title. I never don't listen to at
never
least...
don't listen to not half.
Yeah.
That's like Never Don't Take Life Not For Granted that he had a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago.
Did he actually release an album called that?
Which wasn't even no, it was a song, but it wasn't even a cover of Don't Take Life as a Joke. It was just something else.
God damn it.
It was just a cover of like probably Peep Stang. It's always Peep Stang.
It's always Peep Stang. It's always Peep Stang or All Girls Are in Love with Us.
Yeah. It's like Timmy Turner's dad from the Fairly Odd Parents. I just blame everything on Peep Stang.
Or blinging.
Yeah, that's what we should do. We should change the free space from the bingo night to Peep Stang and All Girls Are in Love with Us.
Yeah, that's the free space.
We hear Peep Stang or As My New Ride Crawl, and that's...
Jesus Christ.
Well, hey, do you want to hear about what's for next week, or do we want to do a what to listen to instead segment?
We can do both. Let's start with what to listen to next week. I keep forgetting that
you need to do this. Well, I have a good one ready.
No. I keep forgetting that I don't write these down anymore. I just text you like 2 days prior.
You sure do. You didn't this week though, so I guess you did listen. Oh no, yeah, I did have to tell you because I told you 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so next week we have the album An Unmatched Resolve.
That's a hard ass name.
Then we have a couple of sequels that don't have an original. We have Code of These Streets 2. I don't think Code of These Streets 1 exists.
Exists,
so
or
it's like
that we haven't listened to it yet?
We definitely haven't listened to it yet. I don't know if it exists either. So it's kind of like what is it? Isn't that like the Mormon thing where they had the gold tablets and then they lost them, and you just have to assume that they're still there? Anyway, we're gonna also listen to
No. The angel Maroney came and took him back, I believe.
Balls Mahoney came and took him back.
Who?
Balls Mahoney.
Who the fuck is that?
It's a wrestler, man.
God damn it! I'm gonna kick your ass.
That sounds like whatever. Next is What a Relief 2. Again, as far as I know, there is no What a Relief 1.
I have a feeling.
At least not that I can see.
I have a feeling. I am not a betting man, but I have a fucking feeling that album is not gonna be a relief to listen to.
It's very possible. Also, I want to go ahead and tell you, you might as well come up with some questions or something for next week, because
is it just?
I gave a brief listen, and it reminded me a lot of this week. If that tells you anything.
All right, sounds good. Fuck.
Well, hey, what should people listen to instead? I think they should check out this great album called "There Is Nothing Wrong with Me" Part 1, where boy Atticus Lane. Boo.
This is my signature now. Anytime anybody talks good about me, I boo myself. Keeps me humble.
Got to keep humble. Yeah. Okay. Garrett, what do you think?
I think that people should listen to another post-punk album that I've become a quite good fan of. I've been a fan of this band.
What you about to talk about? I ain't made no post-punk music.
A band that I've become a fan of recently as well. The band called Squid. They released their debut album. They've
like from Minecraft.
Yeah, Squid.
Okay.
Yeah, like from Minecraft. Fuck, you fucked me up because I was like, no, not Steve, and then I was like, wait, there's Squid in Minecraft.
Dude, you ever listen to Glow Squid?
No.
From Minecraft? He's in the new update. Don't worry about it. Just go. I'm gonna keep messing with you until you finish. So.
They released their debut album. It's very weird, very I don't know, very experimental post-punk. I quite like it. Generally speaking, when I like a lot of my favorite post-punk bands are people that have like very, very strong Irish or English accents, because I think it adds to it. It's kind of goofy and funny to listen to, and they have that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also like to recommend, it won't be out by the time this comes out, but there's a new Atticus Lane album coming out. Ben, why don't you tell us all about it?
So I'm gonna try to keep the shorthand because, man, this is the two-hand hanger dunk version of the Two Cowards Who Don't Even Smoke Crack podcast.
We may as well just shoot the shit for another like 10 minutes and turn this into a fucking double episode, honestly.
A 2-hour episode.
Yeah, or just split it in half somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work for me.
That's fair.
So I want to say, what year is it? 2021?
Yeah.
So like 8 years ago,
years
ago, Garrett texted me in the middle of the night, and he was like, "Dude, can you name an album after that porn star Sasha Winters?" And I'm like exhausted, tired, but not really.
Just got dumped, right?
I always just got dumped.
Damn.
I just recently got dumped for like the last 2 years. Fucking
retweet.
So I said, yeah, sure, whatever. And then over the like 6 years that took place after that, we'd make like little jabs and little ha-has like, oh, this is going to go on Sasha Winters. There's a song title we talked about for the longest time called Cocaine and Masturbation that would and did end up going on Sasha Winters. And on my first, EP that I released to streaming platforms, Nothing Good Ever Happens, which is currently down. It's being remastered, and I'll be putting it back up in November. The last verse, there's a reference to Sasha Winters by name. And I honestly forgot about that. I didn't know that I made it canon in terms of my music. So COVID hits, and I'm halfway through finishing part 2 of There's Nothing Wrong With Me. And I start writing these new songs, and they're very different. Will, I don't know if you've ever gone and listened to any of my music. I know I forced Garrett to against his will at times.
I did. I listened to the part 1 for this.
So
episode.
Thank you for that, by the way. So
Of course.
there was a strong desire during that period of time to fuse like the versions of like rock and punk that I like with hip hop. And try not to do it in the way that everybody else has been doing it, and just kind of find my own, path with it. And I think I did. But pretty much right around the time that COVID hit, I went over to my studio with like a chord progression and a couple riffs that I wrote. And I wrote legitimately like I still think it's one of the best songs that I've ever written. It'll be coming out, I'll say very shortly. It's not on Sasha Winters, but it's a pop punk song with, as Garrett puts it, a little bit of Midwest emo flavor. Anyway, I made that, and around that same time, I found this song from the 70s that I really liked that I wanted to sample. And it's I Gotcha by Joe Tex. And so I sat down and I was like, okay, well, let me just try to go for like the hip hop aspect instead of trying to incorporate rock into it. Let me try not to force it. Let me just feel this out. And I ended up very quickly making the song called I Gotcha. And honestly, over the last like 12, 14 months, I've made like these incredible pop punk songs, and I've made this, what I think is an incredible hip hop album. And I'm very excited to share it with everybody. It's very much going back to the roots. It's mostly self-produced. I had some help on a few songs from some people who've been asking to work with for quite some time now. But I don't know. It's just when I started to get like song 3 or 4 done, I was talking about making a hip hop EP, and the more songs that I would show Garrett, we just both kind of like came to each other and was like, this is Sasha Winters, isn't it? And we were like, yeah. So I doubled down and put a lot of effort into it, and I'm really proud of it.
Well, and again, your plan was originally like you were going to release a hip hop EP and a pop punk EP, and then you kept coming up with fucking good ass hip hop beats, and you're just like, fuck it, I'll just make this an album.
Yeah. So basically, and something I've never done is like come up with like a lyric and try to hang on to it for a while. Like I didn't for the longest time have a notes folder. I used to sit down and write, and whatever I wrote in that sit down session was what it was, with very little change and whatnot to it. Honestly, since last March, I've been like, man, you know what? I've got a lot of sarcastic, like, self-deprecating one-liners that I've let go to waste over the years. I'm not going to screw this up anymore. And I've started a notes folder in my phone. And as I was making this album, Sasha Winters, I noticed that I was going to that notes folder and pulling from it and pulling from it and pulling from it. And having that ended up achieving one of, my biggest goals over the last few years, which is I want to have as many lyrics now that people are like, God, I want to tattoo that on me. For no other reason other than if people want to get it tattooed on them, that means it must mean something to them. You know what I mean? It's a strong lyric. And I think that's what Sasha Winters is. I think that's what it's full of. It's very honest, and it's way less serious. You listen to part 1, and part 2 even doubles down on it. I was really, really trying to be serious. I was going through some stuff, and I was trying to prove something to myself. And I feel like with Sasha Winters and the follow-up EP that's going to come out, I had nothing to prove. I had nothing to worry about. I just made. And it reminded me of sitting in my room looking for beats on YouTube as a high schooler and just exploring and experimenting, because I feel like I haven't done that enough recently. Especially with all the songs that I was sending to Garrett. Back when we were in high school, he heard everything that I did, whether it came out or not. I would send it to him, and he'd, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and he'd tell me why. And we'd discuss it, and we'd, hash things out. He's my greatest confidant. And this album was very, very much a return to that. And like I said, I'm very proud of it. I
was gonna say, like, part 1 and part 2 are kind of love letters to your breakup.
Yeah.
And then I feel like this Sasha Winters, I mean, we both described it as like a love letter to our friendship because it just has the vibe of like us hanging out, going to Wendy's and feeling like dog shit after eating.
Exactly. That's all it is, you know, me and Garrett's friendship, the friendship that I have with the people that I make music with. There's so many references to things that have happened over the years. I finally feel like I'm telling my story rather than trying to put my story in other people's shoes, if that makes sense. And, you know, like I said, I'm excited about it. If you happen to be in the area in which I'm located currently, Charlotte, North Carolina, I've pretty much all but booked a show in July. If you want to come, I want you to get a couple of needles stuck in your arm first. And no, I'm not talking about some shit that Viper would sell you.
Hey man, he sells the best dope.
He
so,
does.
You know,
He probably does sell the best vaccine too. I feel like
The Viper vaccine. You got the
Viper definitely produced his own vaccine and is willing to sell it to you, so you can go to this show.
That's hilarious. But yeah, no, I'm going to be vaccinated by that point. I hope that, you know, when we get people in there, everybody's going to be vaccinated. We're going to have a blast. I'm going to play some of the songs off the new album. I'm going to play some of the old ones. Finally get to be in front of people again for the first time. And, you know, it feels like forever. It's only been a year, but it feels like, you know, it's just been so long. Yeah, I played a show in West Virginia and drove up there with, you know, a band that I was in, and we had this great time, and we came back and everything shut down. And since then, it's been awful and
Live stream show after live stream.
I've had a few live stream shows, and it's just been painful as somebody who makes music, and I've gotten to make what I believe is the best music of my life over the last year, but I really want to show it to people, and I want to give this music. I feel like it's so good. I want to give it an honest chance. I don't want to put it out necessarily, you know, just during COVID times and not be able to tour it and give it the proper push it deserves. I really want to get out there and do what I can. And hey, I've told Garrett, you know, regardless of what this album does, regardless of what the pop punk songs do, even if I'm going to, you know, give them a massive push, I was told by the Viper Discord that a Viper feature is only about $50. So I can guarantee you,
it's pretty good.
Guarantee you, I'll give you guys an exclusive song to put on this podcast. I want to extend the theme song that I've made for you guys
with an official Viper fucking
with an
verse.
Official Viper verse.
Oh man.
I really want to make that happen.
While we're on a subject, how would you feel about helping us put together a series of Minecraft parodies of Viper songs?
We could do something like that. We could absolutely.
He's got the lyrics.
I've already got the lyrics.
We just need you to rip the vocals off of something that Viper can't do.
Yeah.
Just get the the fucking instrumentals of Viper songs.
We need you to commit crimes right here, live.
Well, look, I don't think Viper would want it any other way.
That's true.
I think there's only one way to do it,
and that's illegally. All right. So when does Sasha Winters drop?
Sasha Winters is going to drop. I need to keep checking my calendar. It is dropping in July. I want to say it drops. Let's see. Calendar.
I also want to point out real quick while we're on the subject. Ben mentioned that I texted him when we were in like 9th or 10th grade and said, "Yo, can you name an album after the porn star Sasha Winters?"
Sasha Winters is not.
Sasha Winters is not nobody's name. There's no porn star named Sasha Winters. That is just.
Oh.
That is just.
He totally flubbed that.
I don't know. There's like 2 porn stars, one named Sasha something and one named like something Winters, and I just like combined them in my head.
They must have done a video together, and he saw the 2 names in the heat of the night
and
while
just
having a
created
session
Sasha
with
Winters
himself.
in my head.
It just did that because my friend, she lives out in California. She looked at my Instagram bio one day, and I had Sasha Winters in my bio. And she sent me a text. She was like, "Hey, what is that in your bio?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She said, "Why do you have like a D-list like Italian director in your bio?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I looked it up, and like, I don't know exactly, you know, who he is or where he's from, but I know she's like, yeah, this is like some D-list director that made one shitty movie. Why do you have it in your bio? I was like, that's the name of my album. But it comes out on July 16th. I don't want to spoil anything. I've got like a big calendar with like every day's got something in it. I've got like a lot coming. There will be something coming. I don't want to be Tom DeLonge and say in the next few weeks, but there'll be something coming next month. In June, you will hear something from Sasha Winters, and it's something that I'm very proud of. A lot of the cat is out of the bag on it, but I'm still going to play coy. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be something that, at least, you know, within my scene and my city and you know, the region that we're in, I think people are going to start to turn their heads and look at it. Because it's very provocative, it's very funny, there's a lot of personality to it, and there's just something about it that pisses Garrett off and makes everybody else want to dance and groove.
All right, well, I'm Garrett.
I'm Will.
And I'm Atticus Lane.
This has been Two Cowards Who Don't Even Smoke Crack. Thank you, Atticus Lane, for being on our show. Look forward to hearing Sasha Winters. This is officially our longest episode, and it is officially long enough to count as 2 episodes. So, I don't know. We might do that. Maybe might not. But we'll figure it out. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Yeah, I'll have to decide if that's more or less work. It's a good episode.